Hello and welcome to Lords of the Fallen on my i5-4670K and a GTX 760. So the settings. Everything is on max apart from text quality. Because it just don't even bother trying that. Post-processing I can turn on, but it looks worse. At least I think it does. And I've got Nvidia turbulence off because it makes the game stutter like mad. So I've just turned post-processing on. It looks worse. It looks all blurry and it kind of looks like it's got like a 3D filter on everything. It's really, really weird. I don't like it. Look how much better it looks like this. It looks so much clearer and nicer. So this game actually runs quite well, surprisingly. They have patched it quite a lot because when it came out it was it didn't run badly, it just crashed a lot. It was not a good PC port. It's taken them like freaking months to actually fix it properly. I'm currently playing as my rogue character class here. I've beaten the game twice and then I started a rogue, a new class, and I basically got to the end with it, but then I stopped. And the rogue is ridiculously overpowered. Yeah, he's not early on. Early on, he's like incredibly weak, but later on, he's just ridiculous. So obviously, Lord of the Fallen is obviously, you know, people say, oh, it's it's Dark Souls compared to Dark Souls, and they're right. It is Dark Souls. It's clearly a cash-in on the Dark Souls. You know, like. Everyone wants a game like Dark Souls, and it is clearly a cash-in on Dark Souls. It's basically a low-budget, shittier Dark Souls, basically. That's basically what it is. And it's really not that good. I'm going to be 100% honest here. It's really not very good. I still like it, but it's not very good. The game is incredibly unbalanced. You can break the game, like, just so easily. And then you can also get completely fucked if you put the stats into the wrong thing. The game is not balanced for anything, really. The game is also ridiculously short. And there are only 2 areas in the entire game. You got the Demon World, and then the cathedral place, and that's it. That's it. And basically the game would be a 5-hour game if they didn't make you constantly go back and forth between the Demon World and the cathedral. They literally make you go through the same areas over and over and over and over and over and over again. And the game is, it's like I said, it's basically Dark Souls, but shit. Only done nowhere near as good. I mean, let's be honest, Dark Souls 2 is not very good to begin with. I mean, it's still a good game, but it's not a very good Dark Souls game. This is just a kind of... It's definitely a cash-in on the whole... what's the word I'm looking for? The craze of the Dark Souls game. Everyone wants a Dark Souls game. You know, like Bloodborne and blah. But the enemies are... There are only a couple enemy types in the entire game, and the shielded enemy types must be the most fucking annoying enemy types I've ever fucking fought in any fucking game ever, because they spin around like they're on a record player. It's ridiculous. Look at this. No, you don't do this. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You don't spin around like this. But my rogue is incredibly overpowered. Especially if I go two-handed, which I just do. So the game actually has some cool, ideas with it, but it's a very limited Dark Souls experience. Apparently they're making a sequel, which I am actually excited for, because I said I would actually like a sequel from this game to see what they could do with it, see how they could expand on it, and hopefully make it good. But yeah. I think the problem is, if you're expecting a Dark Souls experience, you probably are very, very disappointed with this game. There's no really replayability at all. You know, with Dark Souls, you can replay the game over. My phone. My phone went off again in the middle of recording. I hate my life. How do I do this again? I forgot. I haven't played it in a while. There you go. Oh look, I know that it's open. Yay. Can I go through? Lever. And the game can also be incredibly cheap at times. The camera isn't the best. The controls are really very clunky. But once you get used to them, obviously it's fine. But they're very clunky. They take a while to get used to. Hello? Ow. The combat is more annoying than actually difficult, because you're just constantly getting your ass, you're getting knocked on your ass, and you're not taking much damage. I can't even remember how to heal. Oh, there we go. You're constantly being knocked on your ass, but not taking much damage. So it's really rather frustrating. And these guys are incredibly annoying. You basically can't attack them while they're doing this, because you'll take damage. As you can see, I took a lot of damage there. He did like kind of like a buff on him, which basically makes it so if I attack him, I lose a ridiculous amount of damage. You get new armors. One thing that's really cool about the game, though, is actually the weapons and the new armors. That is one thing that is actually really good.
I've bloody well found it, Harkin. I've got it. This place.
Blah, blah, blah. The final boss is also one of the worst final bosses I've ever fucking fought in a video game ever. Really, really, really bad. So these guys you can't attack with melee, you have to use magic on them, which is fucking annoying. Because if you've gone pure like no magic, you're fucked. It's gonna take you 5 million years to kill those people, those ghosts. The game is not difficult at all. It can be, what's the word I'm looking for? It can just, you know, like in Dark Souls 1, you could kind of cheese through the game a little bit with Havel's armor. You just put that on and you're like incredibly tough and go boom, boom, boom. But even then, you still needed skill. You still needed, I mean, I really liked doing that. I liked being able to, you know, smash through targets, absorb a lot of stuff. But you still had to be strategic about it. You still had to be like, can I take this hit now? Because I've only got a few Estus flasks left. The magic system is also incredibly limiting, to say the least. You get 3 spells on your first playthrough, and then on the next playthrough you can get another 3 set of spells. And there are only 3 set of spells. A big fucking problem I have with this game, and if you watch my playthrough of it, you get lost a lot. I got lost for about 2 hours in the game. I'm not even actually joking. I am being honest. I got lost for about 2 hours. So yeah. Also, I beat this game in a day. think the problem when this game came out, people, it's one of those games where you say, if you say it's bad, you're like, oh, you're just bad at it, or blah 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 blah. But the problem is, I think when this game came out, people were so excited for a Dark Souls game, they just kind of, you know, blocked any problems with the game out. I mean, this is ridiculously easy. This shouldn't be this easy. I haven't played the game in a couple months. I should not be able to just come in here and just wreck like this. No trouble. One thing I do like, though, is the different attacks you can do, different animations you can do. You can do jumping attacks. There are lots of different animations for different weapons, which I really like. That's basically the main thing I really like about this game is the armors, weapons, animations, stuff like that. Everything else has been kind of meh. I mean, the graphics are nice. You know, they're alright. I mean, it doesn't run well. A couple of the bosses are actually really good. There are some bosses where you're like Dark Souls 2 could learn from these bosses, but they were actual like proper bosses, like good designed bosses. They may be simple, but they were good bosses. Easy checkpoints, blah blah blah. I'm playing the game with a controller because you can play it with mouse and keyboard. I can actually just go to the mouse and keyboard right now, I think, yeah. And, you know, you do this. It seems actually perfectly playable, but I could be wrong. I don't know what the buttons are for anything. It seems actually way more playable than Dark Souls 2 does, at least. How do you do your spell with a mouse and keyboard? I'm not sure. I don't know. Is it Z? No, is it Q? No, Q's parry. Okay. Parry. Change between that. No, I don't know, but the mouse and keyboard control is actually pretty damn good, surprisingly, for a game like this. You wouldn't expect that. I think the problem is the marketing for this game was a bit. I think they hyped it up way too much. They over exaggerated what the game was. I think that was the wrong one. How do I change to that? There we go. No. How do I change? I would say there we go. I would say the controls with the controller may be slightly more awkward than PC controls. I mean, this game is you can easily just run through a lot of the game well, which isn't super great. I mean, you'll die, obviously, you'll die a lot, but until you know, but you can so easily game this, you know, game the system. These guys are actually kind of interesting. You have to break a vase for some reason, a pot that has like their heart in it, and then you can kill them. It's a bit weird. The game has a lot of like, you get stun locked into animations, which I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, is it worth it? I think it's worth it for like a tenner. If you can get it on sale for like a tenner, then yeah. When it came out for full price, fuck no. No way. These guys are fucking annoying as well. A lot of the enemies are just annoying to fight. But thankfully, because I'm a rogue, I can kill them in like 2 hits. Wrong one. Oh, I might actually be able to... Ooh. No, it's bad. The camera also is not very good in these tight corridors. You can actually attack these guys with your weapons if they have magic damage on them, but you can't attack them with anything that is physical damage. Yeah. Basically just need to wait for my mana to recharge here. And now he's gonna die. And that was it. There are lots of chests around, but they're kind of... They don't feel very organic. They feel a bit... meh. One thing I do like, though, the crafting system is really cool. The crafting system is really cool. I really do enjoy the crafting system and the rune system. Basically, you can just equip runes to your weapons, like in a lot of RPGs, but I do really like how you can get a weapon that isn't very good and then just, like, put like loads of runes in it, and it's like, holy shit, incredibly powerful. I like that. I like that a lot. These guys are annoying. They blow up. There's also no bow and arrow combat, which is kind of the... I really like bow and arrow combat. I was sad to see it not be here. I mean, normally in... I mean, that guy looks really cool, but that guy... He's a bit disappointing. I'm not going to spoil it. I don't have enough magic, so I gotta wait. My freaking mana to recharge before I can do that. That guy's got nothing really to do with the story at all. He's just a side character. I know, right? That fucking thing, who looks awesome, he basically has nothing to do with anything. The story is pretty tacked on, I would say. It's definitely not a bad game. It's just... I like it. I like it quite a lot, but it's still shit. In many ways, and it is kind of shit. And you get lost a lot. Stop letting me get lost. There needs to be a map. Yeah, melee, normally in RPGs, melee is my main, I would say. I always like to try... Also, when you freaking go in and out of doors, all the enemies respawn. Isn't that fucking fun? Normally, I always like to try mages, but I always end up going back to melee. So I use that as my main, but I also really like to have a bow and arrow, you know, just on the side, and I like to, you know, before I engage with the bow and arrow, then when I get up and close, take out the sword, or you know, whatever, sword, shield. That's what I like doing a lot. So I'm pretty sure you're supposed to go, the boss is in here. One of the final bosses is in here. And it's just it's just a right pain in the fucking ass, because you've got to like pull a couple of levers, which then lets you get in there. And now I'm like stuck in the corner and I can't see what's happening. I'm gonna die. I survived. Oh. Anyway, I think we're going to end it there because I don't really want to stick around this place much because this place is not fun. You get lost a lot around this place. It doesn't make for a very entertaining video, constantly getting lost every 2 seconds. But that was a look at Lords of the Fallen. Full specs will be in the description. It runs well, yeah, I'd say it runs well. I mean, it drops every now and then, but for almost max settings, I guess it runs alright. I guess it runs good, I don't really know. I mean it drops to 30, but if you're playing with a mousing, if you're playing with a controller, you don't notice the FPS drop as much. You still can see, you don't feel it. You can see the FPS drop. With a mouse and keyboard, you feel the FPS drop a lot because you need that high FPS to have the precision with the mouse. But so if you're using a controller, it's not as important. It's still important, obviously, because it's a nicer experience at 60 FPS. But you know, you don't feel it as much. And so yeah, and that was the Lords of the Fallen. Buy it when it's like a tenner or on sale. I don't know if it was on sale in the Steam Summer Sale, but Steam Summer Sale? Yeah, the Steam Summer Sale, the Steam Winter Sale. If it was on sale for tenner, I would suggest picking it up for a tenner if you can get it for a tenner. But I wouldn't really recommend it too much, really. Who's this guy? This guy reminds me of something. I don't know. Bye.